Hey everyone, it's Mike at Gideon Optics, and I have a TISAS here. I have got a TISAS PX-9 Carry to review because I've seen a bunch of pistol shooters review dots on YouTube, and I've never seen a dot company review a pistol. So we're going to turn the tables on them. Let's see what comes in the box. Here we have a TISAS PX-9 Carry, and it comes in this little half holster, which I suspect is going to be problematic. There it is. We'll talk about that later, but it does come with a holster. Lock this back and show you that it's an empty gun. We get one 15-round magazine here and an 18-round magazine here with a loader. Nice to come with that 18-round magazine is a mag well that's included. I can install that mag well here, and it matches up really nicely with the 18-round mag. I probably will not install that mag well because it's a little bit big and bulky. It's going to be hard to hide if I want to carry the gun. So this is probably going to get ignored, but it's cool that it comes with a mag well in the box. One 15-round, one 18-round mag. We have extra back straps, and we have extra side straps. This is very reminiscent of HK VP9. So this area here in the side is removable. I have installed the large ones on this one. After playing around with it with my hands, I think the large back strap and side straps fit me the best, so those are already installed. I'm not going to mess with those, but you do get 3 different sizes in the box. Here's a waterproofing plate if you use an original style RMR optic that has the battery underneath. You would want a waterproofing plate. It actually comes with that, which is amazing. A couple of little screws in here, and a couple of replacement, a red and or maybe an orange and a green fiber optic to replace the front sight. So, and we have a Bill Clinton mandated trigger lock that we're not going to use, cleaning kit, paperwork, and that's what's in the box. So I am really interested and excited about the TISAS PX-9 Carry. It looks to me like TISAS basically looked at everybody else's homework and took what they thought were the best features of different guns on the market and borrowed them. And as a law school professor once told me, if you copy off of one guy, we call it plagiarism. If you copy off of everybody, we call it research. And that's kind of what they did here. They didn't just copy one gun. They copied lots of different guns. So, like I said, this is very HK VP9 in the grip, which is a good thing. VP9s are known to have a great grip. This cut here in the slide and the trigger guard are very much SIG 320, and in fact this gun will fit and work in some SIG 320 holsters that I have, which I find quite interesting. The trigger is also very SIG 320-ish, but with the little safety dongle in there, a Glock style safety dongle, but it's a flat face trigger, which I like. Lots of people pay extra money to convert their Glock to a flat face trigger. This has already got one to start with. We'll look at the trigger here a little bit more in a second. It is optics ready, of course, which is, since this is an optics company, it better be optics ready. So there's your plate there that's covering up the optic footprint. We'll look at that in a second. Sights are metal and not plastic, but they are Glock specification. So if you don't like the sight picture that you get with these iron sights, or like in our case, we might want to get some taller sights to co-witness with our dot, any Glock sights will work. So that's awfully handy. I guess they knew that Glock sights are the most popular aftermarket sights on the market, so we'll make them Glock style, and then people can choose whatever they want, whatever they think is the best. And in the back, you can see this little red piece there. That's the back of the striker, and that lets you know that the striker's cocked. This here is very Springfield XD-ish to me. It reminds me of the old Springfield XD series, not the new Echelon, but the OG XD reminds you of that. So again, making sure that I'm unloaded. If I run the trigger and I pull it, then you see the red has gone away, and now it's just indicating to me that the gun is no longer cocked. So this gun is kind of a mix of different guns and different sort of current philosophies on what a good concealed carry handgun should be, and I'm really interested in putting it on the range and putting it through its paces. I could shoot it with iron sights, but no, we're not going to do that because this is Gideon Optics channel. So let's grab our M2 metric Allen head, and I'm going to undo these two screws, and let's just see what kind of a plate system or footprint or what's going on if I remove this top cover. Okay, out came the top screws, off comes our top cover. It is nice that they made this. I believe that feels like anodized aluminum to me, but at least they made it out of metal. Some other gun companies are making these top covers out of cheap plastic, and I don't think that's great. Not a wise idea in the long run. So they at least made that out of some metal. And underneath here we have, if you can see, an RMR footprint direct. So we don't have an adjustable plate system. We have just Trijicon RMR spec, which is pretty much industry standard if you ask me. And so we've got two recoil bosses in the front and two more recoil bosses back here which have the threads in them. And I really like this. I like seeing this. People are trying to get away from plates. People want to do direct mount. It's one less point of failure. It's one less thing you have to buy. You don't have to go onto the aftermarket and find a website and see who's selling a plate that's compatible. It's just direct, you know, snap it on there. And the other thing that I like is that they did these raised bosses here with the threads inside them. If you take just like a standard Glock 19 and you have your local gunsmith mill it for a footprint, they might, if they're good, be able to mill the two recoil lugs in the front, which is definitely very advisable. But very, very few of them have the chops to mill in these two little raised bosses that give you extra threads to thread your screws into. This is very hard to machine. Your local gunsmith probably will not be able to pull that off. So the fact that they did it this way means that they're paying attention, they did their research, and they recognize the benefits in both recoil mitigation and extra thread engagement. So that's very, very smart. And I actually put on Instagram which Gideon Optics should we put on, and the winner was the Rock. So let's just see if I can snap that on there. Look at that, like a Lego set. It just clicks into place. All right, I can wiggle like that. See how it's not coming off at all because it's being held in place. Now here's the really cool, amazing part. I figured this out just the other day and I was super excited to show you guys. The threads on these screws are M3 threads. They are not a thread pitch that comes with the Rock. So if you order a Rock for your TISAS PX-9 Carry, you won't be able to use any of the screws that we provided with it. But guess what you can do? You can reuse these, which is extremely rare. Usually the screws that come with the pistol that hold that plate on are completely not suitable for holding the optic on. The heads are too big. They're too long. There's a few different reasons why. These we can actually reuse. So I'm going to put on some blue thread locker, just one line of blue thread locker way down at the bottom of the threads, just like that, per screw. Put you in hand, try not to get blue thread locker all over everything. And fail, it's all over my fingers now. There we go. And in you go. Just going to get you started, make sure that you're not cross-threaded. Alright, and then we're going to do the other one. And I'm going to tighten these down and then I'm going to show you why this matters and how it worked. Okay, so in no time at all, I've got those pretty much finger tight, as I would say. I'm going to take my wrench and bend it 90 degrees. I'm going to press firmly this way towards the bottom of the pistol, and I'm going to turn until they don't want to turn anymore. These are Allen heads. I would prefer Torx personally. If I was going to be the one doing it, I would make a Torx head instead of an Allen. And I'm just going to tighten them enough. Okay, there, now they're tight. Now I'm going to show you, See how the head of those screws is a small enough diameter that it doesn't interfere with the battery cover that's in the top of the rock. I can pull this battery cover and swap out batteries without having to re-zero this optic because of the diameter of the heads of these screws. So thank you, TISAS. You did that right. It's exceedingly rare for me to be able to take screws that the gun manufacturer provided to hold this plate in and then be able to reuse them to actually put the optic in place. That's extremely rare and doesn't happen. Now, just to make sure, I'm going to use Shake, Shake, Shake It Up. This is Hard as Nails Extreme Wear by Sally Hansen. Thanks, Sally. This is fingernail polish. I usually buy one of these a year when they're on clearance after Halloween because orange fingernail polish. Also useful on front sights of revolvers and so forth. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a dab behind. Boop, there's one dab. Boop, there it is. There's the second dab. All I've done is bridge between the head of the screw and the optic body. That dab of fingernail polish is basically crossing over between the head and the optic body. I'm going to set this in a vise vertically like this so that it can dry and not run all over the place. I'm going to let it dry. What that's for is that when I am getting ready to carry this gun or I'm getting ready to shoot this gun, and I'm going to load and make ready. I'm going to make sure that I'm chambered with my good ammo or my range ammo or whatever it is. I'm going to make sure that the optic is on and the brightness level that I want it at and all that sort of stuff. I'm also going to take a second and I'm going to look and I'm going to peek and see if this fingernail polish is where it's supposed to be in the same place every time. If it's not, and I have a piece of fingernail polish that is somewhere else, that means that one of these screws has come unscrewed, that it is not torqued properly, and hopefully I can catch that before I have a catastrophic failure of the screw or the optic pops off and hits me in the nose, something like that. So it's a witness mark to make sure that everything stays where I put it. Alright, so one more thing before I go. Let's ghost this trigger together. I'll talk about this trigger. So we've all been on Grand Thumb's YouTube channel. We're going to ghost the trigger like Grand Thumb. So we have to depress the safety dongle. There's contact, there's take up. So we have that much take up, not very much. That's the wall there where there's additional pressure now that I have to overcome in order to break the shot. So I press through the wall and not bad, not bad. A little bit of a swing there. Let's run the slide carefully and slowly. And I'm going to work the reset. There it is. Tactile and audible reset. So that's my actual trigger press. Not bad. Not bad at all for a factory trigger in a polymer carry gun. Let's grab the old Wheeler trigger pull scale. I have not done this yet. I'm going to guess that it's going to be 5.5 to 6 pounds. We're going to go in the middle of the trigger pull. Oh, look at that. Just over 4 pounds. Just over 4 pounds. Let's do one more. Come here. Let's do one more of these. That's pretty decent, guys, for a carry gun. I wouldn't want a whole lot less than that on a carry gun. It's not supposed to be a match gun. This isn't a CZ Shadow 2 here. This is a defensive piece, okay? Yeah, look at that. Right at 4 pounds. Right at 4 pounds that time. So, we've got a good trigger. We've got good grip ergonomics. We've got a direct mount optic on here now. What's not to like? I'll see you in a little bit. I'm going to hit the range with this thing as soon as this fingernail polish dries.